Turning now to your community focus as Russia's attacks on Ukraine continue. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky had a dire warning earlier this week. He said if negotiations between him and President Putin fail, it could mean World War III. Here to talk about that message and more, retired U.S. Ambassador to Belarus, Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, and now adjunct professor at the U.S. Naval War College, George Krol. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Kim.
So, Ambassador, during your 36-year career in U.S. Foreign Service, you served in places like Russia and Ukraine. When you hear the Ukrainian president issue a message like he did this week about the potential for World War III, what goes through your mind?
Well, certainly the possibility that it could happen, as terrible as that may seem to all of us, that certainly 30 years since the Soviet Union ceased to exist, that we could be facing a crisis of this dimension. I certainly hope that it will not reach to that phase, but we always have to be very careful, all the parties that are involved, in order to avoid or prevent this from happening. When wars happen, things can spin out of control, decisions can be made emotionally, and the rest of the world waits and feels the consequences.
And of course, Zelensky said he wants to negotiate directly with President Putin, but is there really a way to negotiate with Putin at this point? And if so, how does this come to an end? What is the resolution?
Well, at this point in time, it doesn't seem that the Russian side is, and particularly President Putin, is really interested in negotiating directly with President Zelensky. There are lower level negotiations taking place between Ukrainian and Russian delegations, but the real serious questions that need to be answered are not being discussed yet between the two leaders. And I suspect, from my understanding of the Russian perspective, they will go to negotiations from the position of strength. And so what we're seeing here is a test of wills as to who can outlast the other on the field and also in the field of public opinion and in the economic field. And the Russians are not giving up, and the Ukrainians are not giving up. And so it's very difficult to see at this stage where this will lead. Will be a stalemate. It will be one where both sides will be suffering, and particularly the Ukrainian people. But at what point will both sides, and particularly the Russian side, feel that it can and be willing to negotiate? They're not going to be bludgeoned to the negotiating table. Negotiations always have to include the willingness to give and take. And it's very hard to see this at this time, other than to say both sides want peace, which they want, but what they both want on the ground are very different things.
I want to talk a little bit about U.S. involvement. As we know, President Biden getting ready to head to Europe this week. And we've heard a lot of talk about U.S. sanctions on Russia, but also hesitancy for the U.S. to get too involved. So what can the U.S. really do here without putting us in a more vulnerable place?
Well, the United States politically is in a very difficult position because, as we had said earlier, the American administration does not want to expand this war to include a direct confrontation between the United States and Russia, even though very much from the Russian perspective, this is a war against the United States. They view Ukraine as a proxy of the United States. And so the United States wishes to give its moral and as much military support as it can to the Ukrainians, but it's very difficult to see how the United States is going to actually engage with Russia when we're not really speaking with Russia, nor they with us. And I think the economic sanctions are significant on Russia, but Russia has always been able to toughen it out, and they're cracking down in their own country, seeing that this may be a long time affair. And so the United States has to be very careful, but I think has to seek out some form of communication with Moscow, but not over the heads of the Ukrainians. But at the end of the day, that is what's going to be necessary, is to try to find some common ground in order to just start talking about the end game in this. It's not going to be pretty or easy.
And just about a minute left. We've heard warnings about President Putin using nuclear power. We've also been put on notice about cyber attacks. What should Americans be most concerned about right now?
Well, certainly cyber attacks is something that we have been suffering from outside parties, including in some cases the Russians and the Chinese. And so we should certainly have our guard up and certainly take whatever precautions we all should take in order to combat cyber attacks, because that's something we're already suffering from, and as well as Ukraine and other countries in the world. As far as the nuclear option, the Russians do have tactical nuclear weapons, which are not the intercontinental. They do have huge amounts of intercontinental ballistic missiles where they could reach the United States. But I think the real concern is they could use this arsenal of smaller nuclear-tipped weapons in the theater, which, as well as chemical and biological weapons, that could change the contour of this battle into a new phase, which would face the United States and other countries would be faced about what to do with it and how can they avoid it and avoid the Russians actually employing these weapons in their effort to try to bring the Ukrainians to heel and so that they could, as they said, negotiate or get what they want from a position of strength.
Former U.S. Ambassador George Krol, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
And looking ahead to later this week, when we will be joined by Iftikhar Ahmad, the head of the Rhode Island Airport Corporation, to talk about the latest happenings at TF Green. That's coming up this Thursday in your Community Focus.